Howdy folks! So today is a good day. We actually just went down to Customs Border Patrol to go and clear our stuff from South Africa, which has finally arrived after just over 5 months since we shipped it in South Africa. It's finally arrived here in Vancouver and we just had to go and clear it. And I must say, it was actually quite a painless process, to be honest. I mean, we drove all the way there. It was in downtown Vancouver. Stopped there and parked and had to pay $5 for an hour worth of parking. And then when we get upstairs, the guy is like, oh, let me see, where's your work permit, where's your list, here's a stamp, bang, off you go. Within 3 minutes we're done. It was very painless, you know. They always make you worry a little bit because they're like, hey, you have to have values for all your stuff, and you know, there's all these stories on YouTube and online. And to be honest, it was actually really simple. The guy wanted to see the work permit and he wanted to see the list of the content that was given to us by the shipping company, and he took out his stamp, he stamped it, and he was like, you're good to go. So that was awesome. I'm still a little bit sour about the $5 parking. Not the $5 parking, the fact that everywhere else in Vancouver we've got this cool app that you can just pay for your parking. You just go in and you can actually buy parking by the minute. So you can say, hey, I want to buy 7 minutes of parking here, and they charge you per minute. So when I used it there, they were like, no, the minimum parking you can buy here is an hour. So I think that parking garage operator there is running a bit of a scam. He knows that it only takes 3 minutes, but he doesn't want to sell parking in 3-minute chunks, so he sells them in an hour. You have to buy an hour, and then within 5 minutes you're gone. Anyway, I suppose it's the way it works. Yeah, so it took 5 months for our stuff to get here. Although I must say, I don't think it would take that long if you have your own full container. We didn't have our own full container. We had a shared container because we didn't bring anything, everything. I mean, we brought a few sentimental things and a few basics that, you know, we can't replace. That was the funny thing. I was looking at the list and they were saying, yeah, you got to put values to it. And I'm like, the stuff is valueless to anybody but us. It's just our stuff. There's a few things like a couple of power tools that might have some value, or a couple of screens, but for the rest, I mean, it's just our own stuff. Everything else we got from here. We're not going to ship furniture and stuff like that. I mean, Belinda was looking at it. If you bring your bed in, the bedding sizes over here is different than in South Africa, so the mattress sizes are different, and you know, there's just a bunch of other things. I think, what do we got? Belinda's got two rocking chairs. As far as furniture goes, Belinda's got 2 old rocking chairs that used to belong to her grandfather, so it's got sentimental value. And that's it, furniture wise. I've got some tools and a couple of spare computers. I like to fix things and work on things, so I've got that. Angelique's got a lot of stuff. She's got a lot of arts and crafts and things like that. And then we've got all paintings and pictures. I wouldn't say paintings, but pictures of ourselves and picture frames, so they of the kids and stuff like that. Connor really doesn't have anything. He's a little bit like me. He's hey, I need clothes, a bed to sleep on, and a computer, and I'm good, and I'm not sentimental about any of that. Anyway, yeah, so we had a shared container, which means they collected our stuff early January, and then they went and stuck it in a container, and it had to wait for somebody else's stuff to fill the container up before it could ship. So I think it actually sat in South Africa until somewhere in March before they finally threw it on a ship, because it was just, you know, waiting for somebody to fill up the container. So I guess if you have your own container and you fill it up with your own stuff, then it will get here a lot quicker. But yeah, if you're moving here, understand that it might take some time for your call it stuff, but yeah, that's what it is, for your stuff to arrive. It's actually quite funny talking about stuff, you know. Before we left in 2016 on our lifestyle of travels, or our kind of roundabout the world, we lived in a big house in Joburg. And it was absolutely amazing when we started packing up and scaling down to see how much stuff we collected over the years, and how much of that stuff we never use. That was so weird. I mean, you've got a barbecue there, a nice big gas barbecue. Now, I don't like grilling on gas. I don't even know where we got it, but you know, we got it once, and I think we paid 4,500 rand for it, but it's sitting there. We never ever use it. And now if you want to sell it, you've got to sell it for a couple of bucks. We actually just gave everything away. We just donated stuff and gave it away to people that needed it, and to friends and family. And it literally took us about 4 years to get rid of all our stuff, believe it or not. It was just, it's amazing how much you can collect and pile up over the years, and how much of it you don't really need or you don't really use. That's why I'm still a firm believer in proper rental setup. You know, somebody should start a business where you can just rent the stuff you need. Hey, you want a tent? You want to go camping this weekend? Rent the tent, go camping, bring it back, hand it in, and it's all done. I mean, we had tents lying there. I think we went camping thrice in 10 years. But no, you go and buy a tent so that you can go camping, and you go and buy you know, there was just so many things. Any which way. So we scaled down quite dramatically. If you go into our house now, it was actually funny. We had the neighbors over, one of the neighbors over the weekend to come and have a drink, and they were sitting here, and we had people over, and every time we have people over, we live in this huge house, and it looks like we've been robbed because we've got almost nothing. We've got our beds, because very comfortable beds we bought. We enjoy, we need it, we sleep in it. We've got our big desks with our computers where we work. We've got the gym equipment. We actually went and bought a nice gym machine for Connor, not a nice one, off of Facebook Marketplace, because he's all into getting in shape now, so that's great. We encourage him. And yeah, that's about it. And a poker table, because I like playing poker, and I haven't had a poker tournament in like a year, but hey, I still have a poker table. Any which way, so we just don't have that much stuff, and I really think somebody should create a rental business for all of these things, where you can just go and collect stuff as you need it. It'd be interesting. Anyway, back in South Africa, I think most of the stuff we gave away, because it's not like here you can advertise something on Facebook Marketplace, and somebody comes to your house, have a look at it, they pay you with Interact, and off they go, and you got your money, and they get their thing, and everybody's happy. In South Africa, you live behind this giant fences and giant gates and giant walls, and you really don't want anybody that you don't know to actually come into your yard and see what's happening there, because you don't know when that guy's going to come back tonight to come and collect without paying, you know. And you don't know, are you going to get the money? So many of our, I know my aunt used to be in a wheelchair, and when she died, she had this electric wheelchair that she used to work in, and she could stand up, and you know, it was a really cool wheelchair. And when she died, my uncle sold it and put it online, sold it. Some guy came, met him, gave him a check, whatever, and then bang, off went, stole the wheelchair. So anyway, that's why we decided not to sell anything really in South Africa. It's just not worth the risk. Rather give it away to people that can use it. Okay, anyway, you all must have an absolutely beautiful day, and I'll speak to you again soon.